Afternoon, gents. I hope everyone is well. So I'm a bit late. I was just trading one of my evaluations. One of my evaluations is just a few $100 lower than the other one, so I just went short there on that failure. Just grabbed a couple of points off that. No, it's going to show, is it? No, it's not going to show on here. Okay, so I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's alive and kicking, had a great weekend. So hopefully we should have a good day today. So it's clearly ranging at the moment, that's for sure. Who have we got in so far? Is everything okay? Everything working okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Let me have a look. Stream settings, analytics, stream health. Can everyone hear me okay? Something looks a bit different on the YouTube screen. Just give me a yeah. Everything sounds fine if that's the case. Microphones on. Good morning. Hear you fine. Excellent. Okay. So what? Good afternoon, mate. How you doing? Brick. Afternoon. Indy. How you doing? SW Blaze. Good morning. Sania. Good morning. Indy. Hear you fine. Excellent. What? Yeah. Excellent. Brilliant. Okay. It's okay. GP, good morning. I hear you fine. Yes, excellent. Fantastic. Okay. Right. Clearly ranging so far. Let me have a look. Everything's working fine. Okay. As you guys know, or most of you know, I've just had a payment gone into my account. Well, I've had an email about it anyway, so it should be in the next couple of days, another $2,000 payment. So all's going well. So now, I don't know if anybody knows this, when you first pass a PA and you get your first payments, it's $2,000, yeah, $2,000 for the first 3 months. You can actually withdraw $4,000 a month for the first 3 months. I don't know if anybody knows that, but you can withdraw a payment. 2 weeks later, within that same month, you can withdraw another $2,000 payment. So if my account goes as well as it seems to, I might draw another $2,000 payment, which will give me a nice $4,000 for the month. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. So what's going on here? Let me have a look. We're clearly ranging at the moment. Now, possible second entry short. Trouble is, I'm not a fan of going short right in the middle of the range, because we are ranging, but it is a little choppy. I thought that was going to push up to the measured move, and it stalled, and then it just dropped. So who knows? Okay, so let's find out where our liquidity levels are. There's a lot around the 58 to 60. Is that right? 58 to 60, which is around here. So I'm a bit unsure as what to do here, so I'm just going to have to let it. I always find sometimes if I give it 15 minutes or so, just to let me calm down a little bit, because you know what it's like sometimes when you jump on the charts, just as the market kicks off, you get the old butterflies, don't you? That sort of nervous excitement feeling, and sometimes I think it's a little bit better if I let that calm down a little bit. So there is a second entry short there, but I'm not a fan of. It's a bit old. This is okay. So liquidity at 55. So it hasn't worked out anyway, but I'm just a little bit. Whether that channel is right or not, it may be. I don't know. In fact, I'm going to remove it a minute just to let it sort itself out. I don't want to give myself any type of a bias. So let's just say hello. Let's let it sort itself out. Everything's where it should be. Got nothing going. Everything's beautiful. Okay. Loud and clear. Excellent. Speed, how you doing, buddy? Arminas, how are you? Top search. Okay, it's a name. I thought top search. What's going on? But yeah, everything's fine. Right, now, last day, I will mention it a few times, last day of the 80% off. Now, a lot of times they extend these things, but I did get an email, and I'll show you quickly, saying it's definitely not been extended. I don't quite know why they've done that, but they do sometimes. Let me have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, I'll just drag it in quickly if I can. Yeah, that's it there. Ends Monday. It will not in capitals be extended. So I don't know why they've quite done that. It's as if it's like make the most of it, because we are not doing it again. I don't know. But take of it what you will. But you know, high ends Monday night, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. It will not be extended again. It's like being told off, isn't it, at school? So don't do it again, or else. So take it as you will. But I'm just letting you know. So, in my honest opinion, I don't think it'd be long. Okay, that seems to be working okay. I don't think it'd be long before they do it again. In all honesty, because as an affiliate, I know how many they sell. Because if I sell some. I sell some. If I get some on an affiliate link, I know how many people do when there's the 80% off compared to when it's 50% off. And it's like tenfold. So they sell way more when it's 80% off. Now, the thing is about Apex, we know they're a good company. We know they do us some good deals. But, you know, the trouble is, if you do 80% off for such a long period of time, people get used to those sort of paying those amounts and they just won't budge. You know what I mean? So there we go anyway. But it's the last day today, so midnight tonight, your time, I think, Eastern Standard Time, which is about 5 o'clock in the morning, UK time, tomorrow morning. So, liquidity from 60 to 53, so there's just a big bunch of orange here, if you look at the compressed side, but liquidity is pulling this down, I can clearly see that. But we're ranging at the moment, so... I gotta be careful. That's good. Volume has already moved over. Yeah. Sunny, how you doing, buddy? Down may complete pending buy. 344, 46.9. Now at 33,950. Yeah. So if anybody does change that, is traded on the Dow or whatever, then there you go. That bit of information for you there. So, okay, so I don't know about you, but I had a really nice weekend. The latter part of the week, for some reason, I just seem to found some clarity. I just am all of a sudden very contented just to sit there and wait for perfect setups, nothing else. It didn't seem a couple of weeks ago when I take second-hand trades, you know, poor half-hearted trades, but I seem to have just hit a point where if you take those really high-quality trades, it just works. And I know it sounds reasonably straightforward, and I should know that, but it doesn't always work that way. But it's strange. I do seem to find a comfortable balance at the moment, and I hope, because at some point, you know, when you're doing things wrong and taking silly risks and taking poor trades and revenge trade and whatever, you know, the more you keep trying, the more you keep working, at some point, things will change. And I just feel at the moment this is finally my time that things are improving. I seem to be a lot more relaxed in my trading because I'm taking better quality trades, so long may it last. Okay, intraday, yes, 42.75. Don't hold, sell position over 43.16. Okay. So it's been a strange weekend, isn't it? Lots of crypto has been dropping. I know Binance is in a spot of bother at the moment. They're being sued by the SEC. I don't know, there's some funny goings on there. And also Robinhood have delisted. Solana, Cardano, something else, I believe. So the market's been all over the place. I think things like Cardano and Solana have dropped 20 to 30% over the weekend. So those are a couple of cryptocurrencies that I've got in my bag, actually. So what's going on here then? Okay, quick push up and then a quick drop. So we've got this channel, there's a push up, break new high. So we're coming down, testing these lows. Hard to say. 56 I'm looking at the moment. 55 around about 55, 53. So it's hard to say. I'm guessing this might not come down here from this channel. It's hard to say. But the way it had a break there, pushed up, made a new high and dropped back down. I don't think it's finished with our upside yet. We know there's strong liquidity at 55. Sorry, 65, which is up there, which is at the top of this range. So personally, try to go low, try to go twice. I'm staying out at the moment, don't know what's going on. Hey Sam, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Interesting. Groll Daddy, good morning. Okay, so not sure what's going on here. Liquidity is strong at 58, which is where we are now. 60, some sell orders, so maybe we are coming down some more. 56, 53. It's bouncing all over the place at the moment. I think it's just because the market's open. There's you know, traders putting positions in for the day or whatever they're doing. But I know the liquidity is bouncing backwards and forwards, so I think the safest bet for me is just to sit tight and let it sort itself out a bit. Not only that, I mean, it's clearly ranging. I'm not a fan of going unless it's a great setup. I'm not a fan of trading around the middle of this 246 because we've only got about 6, 7, maybe 7 points above and below. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Liquidity seems to be bouncing. There's some at 55, some buying at 55. I don't know. I'd say this is likely going to come up. So yeah, I'm not a fan of what that is. Let me I'm going to get rid of that. Well, I think that is just a couple of legs. So have that one leg and another leg. Maybe. Possible. I'm going to give that a move for now. Just leave it for now. I'm not sure what's going on there. It looked like a trend with a break. Okay, now there may be some... let's have a look. I'm not sure whether this is going up or down at the moment. Okay, there may be some short strap there. I'm not sure what's going on here. Speedy, no clue what's going on. Yeah, you and me both, mate. Liquidity is really bouncing around. Okay, so it looks like it's coming down. Maybe this is a bit of a channel. But yeah, it's unusually. So we've had a break, new high, try to go once. Okay, maybe. Or maybe it's having a couple of legs and pushing high. I don't know at the moment. Chop is not the word, mate. Second entry long trap, 10,000 tick chart. Yeah, there's some traps around here. There may be some shorts there, got trapped. I was thinking there may be a bullish bar there. Second entry long, I don't know. By the looks of things now, I think we're coming down. I think we're lightly. I'm not exactly sure where the bottom of this range is, to be honest with you. Let me have a look. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Let's just put something down here for the lows of the day. Let's have a look. Okay, touch, 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 touch. I think that's as good as any for a low. Now we have had a break out of this new high. I would say, from what I'm looking at, it's probably going to come down and retest these lows. Unless anybody buys that. I can't see how they're going to buy that second entry long to go higher. I mean, we technically, you could say we've come off the lows, so we've pushed up, 2 legs back and pushed up again. It may do that. Might be push up, couple of legs and another push up, but I would say from what I'm seeing here, I think it's more likely to come down and retest these bottoms. So I don't know anyway. Sania, how you doing? June contract is showing. Yeah, has anybody moved over? Anybody rolled over? I have. I had a prompt this morning when my Ninja Trader. I think most people probably will roll over today. June contract is showing. Where is on your screen? It is 43.55. Yeah, I take it everybody's moved over, have they? There's plenty of volume here anyway. It's not a problem. You're on September, yeah, same here. Plenty of volume anyway. I'm assuming most will. So a little bit congested here. I still do think we're coming down by the looks of this. Try and push it once. Yeah. You rolled over to what, September? Rolled early September. Sam rolled over. Yeah, excellent. JP, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I think everyone's rolled over. Rolled over, mate. Okay. Liquidity down. Buying at 53, which is here. So I'd say it's likely. But there is some selling at 56. Okay, so I think it's likely we're going to retest these lows. It's a bit confusing at the moment. Harjit short. 4311. 4311. Have you got that right, mate? 4311? 4311's way down south. If it is 4311, we got quite a long time to wait till we get down there. You might have got that wrong, mate. 44. I don't know. Okay, so try go once, try twice. Yeah, this is just confusing to me. It's clearly chopping sideways at the moment. It can be a bit dangerous to trade there. I'd rather let it settle down a touch. How are you, Harjit? The older contract is trading down there for some reason. The older contract. Oh, I see what you mean. Right. Okay, yeah, I got you. I think you can still stay. You don't have to roll over yet, do you? I don't think. But I don't know. I mean, I've not been trading long enough to know. Does it make a difference trading? You know, the new contract, the old. I don't know. Okay, so I'm guessing that. I go on side choice. No, it's okay. Forget it. You haven't rolled over yet. Is it? I mean, you'll know, Harjit. Is it a problem? I mean, I usually roll over as soon as I get a prompt from Ninja Trader, but I don't know if there's any problems. Well, I suppose if most people have rolled over, it makes sense me trading the chart that most people are seeing. So, so maybe this is a leg. A couple of pushes back and another leg. It's looking to me. Let me have a look. 55. I don't know. This might be a long trap. So we got a new low. Try go low once, try go twice. Failure. Triggered. Now, if this pulls down, there's 4 back to back. So I don't know whether I want to get into a short there. But I would say if this does pull down, there's maybe some longs in there, but it is a bit sideways and it's a bit choppy, so I kind of hope it does pushes up actually. I'd say we've come off the bottom and its leg with a couple of pushes back and then probably roll over tomorrow. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, there's quite a lot of liquidity all around this area, so I don't know whether we're going up or down at the moment. It's a bit confusing. I mean, there's quite a nice bullish bar there. We've tried to come down a few times, but it's triggered, and this is now looking quite bearish. So I'm quite happy to stay out of this. Well, I don't know what the weather is where you are, but the UK is baking at the moment. Harjit, you're down in London. What is about 30 degrees centigrade down there, isn't it? I bet it's quite warm. It's been muggy as hell here. Last night was a tough night's sleep. Fortunately, we got a little pole in the garden. Sounds a bit glamorous, but it's just one of those Intex steel frame ones, which is 12 foot and about 1 metre deep, but it's enough to get a cooling down. And I've spent about an hour this morning in that, chilling out. But we've had wall-to-wall sunshine. We'd had some torrential rains last night and a little bit of thunder, but it's been so muggy, I think it needed it. But UK's basking at the moment. So I don't know where a lot of you guys are. Yeah, it's probably 30 degrees down in London, I'd say, Harjit. Mind you, we had some record-breaking temperatures last year. We hit 42 degrees somewhere in the 42 degrees C somewhere in the country. I mean, that is tropical hot weather. So obviously with all this global warming, seems to be pointing towards the weather getting warmer. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, some areas hot as hell. Yeah, it is when you're not used to it. But it's weird. I know in the UK we sort of moan when it's raining and when it's cold, and then when we have warm weather we're moaning it's too hot. You can't win really. But I know a lot of you guys in the US are all air conditioned. We don't tend to have that in the UK. There's, you know, I don't know anybody who's got air conditioning. You can buy portable air conditioning units. You're in the American South, North Carolina, muggy. Yeah, I don't doubt it is, mate. I mean, you not only get the warm weather there, but you get all the storms as well, don't you? I don't know how you manage it. Yeah, you get some awful weather, I've got to say. How the hell do you deal with it? I suppose if it's all you've known, you don't know any different, but it must be terrifying with kids. Okay, that looks to me like there's a bit of a channel moving up there. So I think we've come off the bottom here. We've had a couple of pushes back. We've made a few attempts to go lower, and by the looks of things now we're pushing up. So I'd expect now to get up to, where's this liquidity areas? 60, 61 for starters, which is around about here. And there's some at 69, which is further up here. I'm surprised there's none around here. 66, not a lot. But I would say, let's leave that out of the way at the moment. This looks like it's slowly grinding up. We may get a range day. We've had some really nice trending days lately. Market's really moved, and it's given some opportunities. But we may get a bit of a stuck in this area kind of a day. Pass one eval today, now trade another. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Hopefully, I'll have 2 more going live a week today, I think. I tend to speed mine up a bit. One's at $1,700, the other's at $2,000. And I think I've traded them 2 days. I think this is day 3, I think. Oh yeah, hurricanes every once in a while. I'm inland though, no big for most of the time. Yeah, must be scary living on the coast though. Oh, I don't know if I could manage that with kids. I think I'd have to try and move. But yeah, I mean, even inland, don't you? I mean, you get the sort of hurricanes and that, don't you? But inland, you got the tornadoes. We're quite. I mean, we moan about the UK, you know, prices of this, prices of that, but we're quite lucky, really. We don't get nothing dangerous over here. No real sharks or nothing that's going to do you any harm. No poisonous spiders, no poisonous snakes, no earthquakes, no bad weather. We get nothing over here really, so we're quite lucky in a way. But it must be awful, especially with kids. You know, living in some of these areas of the world where they do have these, you know, tropical cyclones and hurricanes and tornadoes, and that must be terrifying. Short it here. It does look like a short, doesn't it? It's just a bit choppy for me. Trouble is, if we short that, what I can see at the moment with on my particular strategy, there's 4 back to back there, so it is clearly bouncing off this midline, but it's just congested to me. And the trouble is, we only have like our tick. Our stop usually is 1 tick above the signal bar, but it's a bit choppy, so I don't know what's going on here. But it is struggling to go high. You can clearly see we've pushed up. We've tried a bunch of times to go higher. Now it will either push through or it will come tumbling down, I think. In 89 Charlotte, I remember reading about it and seeing the films about it, yeah. Got destroyed, Hurricane Hugo, yeah. Do I like Jeremy Clarkson? No, he does my head in, to be honest with you. You either love him or you hate him. He fries my brain. He's not on TV much, actually. I used to watch the programs he was in, Top Gear. But okay, so the trouble, what I'm seeing now about going short, is we're moving in this channel here, and we're trying to go higher. Now, if we can get above here and possibly here, then I think we've got a good shot of going there. But the more times it tries, I think the more chance it's got of just dropping down at the bottom. There is some liquidity at 57, some more buys, so it may come down and push higher. It's hard to say at the moment. It's trying to push higher. Yeah, see, as Hargit says, if you go short, I think he puts his stop a few points above, let's say 59. His stop will be up here, see. And that's a bit rich for us. Let's say 59, so your stop is going to be somewhere around about here. But if it does break, then I think with all these pushes higher, it's probably likely going to at least retest this area. But to me, it does seem like it's starting to creep up, so it's hard to say at the moment. You know, I was going to say that. I mean, it's clearly struggling to go higher. But what I'm seeing is, well, let's see what happens. Is it's pushing up, it's going sideways, and it's slowly still making, if you look here, higher highs. That's what makes me nervous. So I'd say from what I'm going to see, I'm going to go out on a limb here because I don't want to pit myself against Hargit. But for me, does look like it's going to drop, doesn't it? But for me, I think it's going to push a bit higher. See if it triggers below this bearish bar there. It does seem to me like it's still making higher highs. So we'll see if it breaks above here. But I think it's going to go higher personally. But we shall see. Now, Hargit's a way more experienced trader than me. So let's have a look. It does look like it's slowly trying to push higher. Let me have a look. Now the liquidity finishes below here, so it may well come down. It's hard to say. It'll either push up strong in a minute, or just wondering whether there's a bigger channel going on there. If that is the channel, I'd say it's going to go higher, but I'm a bit on the fence here. It's tried now. There's 2 bearish bars in a row, so especially if it breaks here. If it does break here, then I'd say we're going to look at the bottoms here. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, there's lots of sell at 59.60, which is around this area, so you may well be right. Let's have a look. If this finishes bullish, then it may hold. Okay, looks like it is going south now. And the trouble is with all this sideways, my strategy, some I use, it's just not something I can trade really in all conscience. As much as I trust Harjit, the trouble is he trades slightly different, and I know he'll risk a few more points up here, but just a bit on the fence at the moment. It's a bit too choppy for me. Things are going well for me at the moment. I'm just waiting for good setups. So it make me a bit nervous going short, especially with all this chop. Now, obviously, Harjit's way more experienced than me, but we're all sort of risking our own money, so we've all got to make our own decisions, haven't we? But see what happens, see if it pushes up and see if it does. It just may, it's pushed down, it just may make another effort, but I don't know. If I'm looking at the liquidity, it does seem to be dropping in all over the place. So okay, so we've had this new high trying to go once, so if we make another attempt, then I may be thinking about going short. We'll see. Trouble is, we've had a bit of a channel here, we've had a break from it, so we may be trying to make a new high. It's hard to say, I'm a bit on the fence here. I don't like, no, you're right, mate. It's just too choppy, isn't it? It's a bit scary. I don't like all this stuff here. I mean, really, it could go either way, couldn't it? I mean, we've had a break. There is, for me, there's a bit of a channel there. It's working quite nice in there, I'd say, although there's a little bit of sideways there. But we've had a break of it, so normally, as we know, when you get a break, we try and make a new high, but the liquidity, most of the liquidity is below that 62, which tells me if it does push up, it's going to pick up some more selling, so maybe it's going to go down. It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know what's going on at the moment. It's clearly choppy, which is fine. It does from time to time, but I would class myself as still a relatively inexperienced trader, and when there are times like this, for me, certainly, I'm best just let it go. What I've found over the last week or so, things have changed for me. Let's go. Okay, whenever he says this, the thing usually drops. So maybe it's making this last attempt to go higher. Let's say I'd love to jump in, but in all good conscience, I can't, because we've pushed up, we've gone sideways, we've dropped out of this little range, and we've pushed back in. So maybe we're going to come down and try again and push higher. It's hard to say, but there is some sells here, so I don't know whether it is going to hit that area and take out his stop. I think his stop's in the right place. I just can't see what's going on at the moment. It could go up, could go down, but for me, it's looking like it's trying to hold. Let's see how this bar, if this bar finishes bullish, there's a second entry long. Now that'll either push up nice and strong, or it'll trigger and come down. So I'm a bit unsure about that. Okay, and it has dropped out, so I'd say now it's likely to come down. Let's see. He looks like he's going to be right again. Trouble is, once it's gone, you can't really follow it. If you short it up here, and yeah, okay, so if it's broken below there, so there may be some long stops there, so I'd say it's probably likely going to retest this area, I'd say. Let's have a look, but there is lots of support along here, so it's hard to say. Yeah, let's go. You got 3 points, did you? Yeah, I mean, you may have taken that one, may have shorted it there, but I just couldn't. It just looked a bit too scary for me, to be honest with you, so that's okay. Type of ugly triple test. Yeah, you could say that, couldn't you? It's I mean, we've pushed up, we've had a couple of legs down, we've tried to push up, and there's quite likely going to be picking up a few longs here, which once it pushes through those, that adds to the momentum. 7-0. Yeah, it is. Is it 7 or 8? I think it's 7, isn't it? It's starting to make me look bad. Do you know? I think. Let's hope Marge stays here. Otherwise, everyone's going to disappear. I think I'm probably picking up a lot more. I'm probably picking up a lot more viewers, I think. Okay, so Harjit is on 7. So you can't argue with that. What can't speak, can't lie. The maths never lies. There we go. So, and what did he say? Shorted up here somewhere. Was it around about here? So, what did it go down? So you'd have certainly got 5.5, 5.75 points out of that. I always like to come out. If I go to these bottoms, I always like to come out just above the bottom of the body. Not right on the line, and that would have worked. But to be fair, it may have a little bit of a pullback and come down a little bit lower. So there is some buying around about the 52. So I'd say it's likely going to come down a little bit more. Chris, how did Harjit see that short? 25 years experience. Well, it's clearly struggling to get higher, isn't it? It's clearly struggling. If you look along here, there is some areas of resistance here. It did it there, pushed up. As soon as it pushed above that, it just dropped quickly, and then we came down and we had maybe dragged a few longs in there. It tried a bunch of times to go higher. It's clearly struggling. There's clearly some resistance along here. So 20. I suppose when you've been trading 20 odd years, you just you might see a pattern like that 1,000 times, and you'll just know where to trade. So, as I've mentioned, we follow max strategy, a lot of us, but, I see certain patterns where I trade that it might not be max strategy slightly, because you see these patterns again and again, and you start to learn, adapt to your own style of doing things the more experience you get, I suppose. Also, clear the open price, yeah. That's a thought. I haven't... okay. Excuse me. There's some buying around 52, so personally, I think that's a bit risky buying there. I think it is done downfall. Yeah, we've come down and retested these bottoms, so whether that'll push up, I think it may just maybe tick higher and come down a bit more. It's hard to say. How do you update my chart to September? Okay, if you go into Sajid, is it? Yeah, if you go into here, and you may not, if it's not in there, you can just type it. So you can just change the 6 to a 9. So just double click on it and just change the 6 to a 9, and that'll update it. I'd say there's probably equal amount of liquidity on the equal amount of volume on 06, to be honest with you, but I'm trading 09, and I think most are. So yeah, just if it's not in there, just click on it and then just delete the 6 and type in a 9, and you're good to go. So still some liquidity down here at the bottom. 57 is the strongest. I think we may start to work down. Let's have a look. The most liquidity I can really see is around about here. Somewhere around about there. So I think we may go a bit lower. So now if you took that trade there, which I think's risky, it's triggered you. So I think that's going to come down, take out the stops if anyone's gone long there, and pick up those other buy orders down there. I think it works. Brilliant. And it is a bit congested here, isn't it? So, no, I mean, this is it, market going down now. The uptrend is over. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me, because I've just... the highest amount of liquidity I can find is there. So if you've taken that trade there, bounced off the bottom twice, you've triggered, and I'd say it's almost I'm sure it's going to come down and stop that out. Now, that's my personal opinion, so if you're in that trade, don't change it for me. It's up to you. But the way it's just gone up by one tick, the most liquidity I can see is 56. Above that, there isn't much. There's a little bit at 58, which is telling me we're being sort of slowly sucked down. Happy Monday. How is everyone doing it? You got 4 ES points this morning. Good for you, mate. So playing it safe now. Yeah, you're the same as me, Tyler. If I get in nice and early and get a trade, I just go extra cautious, because at least you know you're guaranteed to go in with 4 points, and that's all right for a day. I tend to go for around about the 2.25 for a day. Anything above that is a bonus, but liquidity is coming down here. So if you took that one, I'd say you're likely going to get stopped out. It's just the way it's looking. The trouble is, if I ever go long off these bottoms, I like it to push through, pick up any buy orders, give any of the sell orders their profits, and then when it pushes back, that's when I try and get in. So I like it to break through like this and not sit above it, because that's almost definitely going to stop that out. One more tick, you're out. Or it could be a triple test and go higher, but no, it's not going to come all the way down. There you go. So if you took that trade there, that's why if I ever think about doing trades like that, I like it to trigger and start to work up first before I go in, rather than just, I've given up just putting orders there. Picking bottoms I'm not very good at, really. It's not one of my strong points. So liquidity 55 now, so that may come out there and go short some more. So yeah, for me, this is starting to look like it's starting to get a bit bearish. Not yet, maybe. Okay, so there's some more short orders there. Okay, now I think try to go once, try to go twice, triple test. Let's have a look. Try to go one, try to go twice, try to go 3 times. Tempted to go short there, I am. Very tempted. But I'm not. I'm staying out. There's a bit more at 57, which is about there. 57, 58. That's about your limit there when it comes to liquidity. Yeah, see what I mean about these? It's so frustrating. You get, I mean, we're clearly ranging, so as Max says, he loves range days, just shorts the top and buys the bottom. Now, a lot of people, and myself included in the past, have taken longs like that, and look what happens. It ticks above, comes down, stops you out for 1 tick, and look what happens then. So that's why in a lot of cases I started in areas like this, giving it an extra tick, and in some cases it would save you. Okay, so picking up some of those sell orders there, whether they're profits or whether they're people going short. Been sideways since last night. Only 10 points. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, not far off. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, sort of from here, it's certainly working within the 10-point range, isn't it? Okay, some more selling there, so yeah, it's trying to understand what people are thinking. This is human behaviour, isn't it? What are people thinking now? Oh, let's pull down. Maybe if you have one more go, I might go short there. And there is, funnily enough, some more liquidity there, around about 57, so margin testing the 5-minute open range. If it stays below 43, On 1 year, you're on the old contract, aren't you? Old contract, yeah. We're going down. I'd say it's probably still likely to be heading the same direction. The numbers might just be slightly different. In fact, something's just dawned on me. I don't think it matters. Okay, here's a question for you, Harji. I'm looking at bookmap above my head. Now, bookmap will be bookmap. It doesn't matter whether we've rolled over or not, does it? Would that affect bookmap or not? I don't think it will. Bookmap showing price. The trouble is price differs between 06 and 09, does it not? Anybody work out what I'm trying to say there? Okay, so we pushed up. We've got a lower high there. There's some liquidity at 53. There's a lower high there. Pushed up. We're struggling to get up. Let's get a sell order ready.
Order submitted.
There's a lower high there. Still liquidity at 58 though. That's what's making me nervous.
Order cancelled.
Not just yet. Lots of news tomorrow. Massive resistance. Yeah, I mean, we've pushed up. We've put below the EMA and there's a lower high there. So, let's see if we come back again. Okay. I did look at that.
Order submitted.
It comes back. It's not going to, is it? No, I'm a bit nervous about that. Lower high. Trouble is that's the second entry long. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what.
Order cancelled.
That. See if this long triggers. If this long triggers, then I may go short. Because that would be a failure. Trouble is it is a bit choppy, so you've got to be so careful. See if there is a second entry long. Let's see if anyone triggers this. No, I don't like it either. So if you did take that, how far did it go? So you went one tick. Okay, so you wouldn't have got, you'd have got a, well, I've literally put that right on the line, so you've got a point out of that at best, I think. And now it's getting a bit, yeah, that's the trouble when it's going sideways. It's so careful. I think what we need to do is wait for it to start. It sounds like it's struggling to go up and it may start to work down. So I think we just need to let it sort itself out a bit and then move in a direction and then maybe think about looking for something short. I was kind of hoping that would trigger. See all the liquidity I can see is below 50, is above 50 and below 59, so it's working in this area here. So we haven't got anything strong that I can see yet. Okay, so that, if you took that second entry long, it's triggered. Trouble is, I doubt you'd, after this sideways stuff, you'd have probably, yeah, okay, so I'm glad I didn't take that, because I would say that's a tick off stopping that out. I'm not a fan of it. Something's just a little bit too. It's a bit choppy for me. So if you'd have taken that, shot that lower high, you'd be okay at the moment. Some liquidity at 57, which is taking it a tick or two above there. So I'd say that's likely going to get stopped out. Maybe not, maybe not. I think if I was in that trade, I'd be tempted to get out for break even because I don't know what's going on here. Where is break even? Break even, say about there. So yeah, it's clearly choppy. When you've got lots of liquidity, it's hard to know exactly what to do. It's not so bad if you're scalping a point. I mean, if you'd have taken that, you'd have got a point. Okay, so if I'd have taken that, my stop would have been there. I'd have been able to get out break even. So that's okay. So I just look at this just out of interest because I still want to see whether that trade would have worked. And you'd have got out for break. Well, you'd have got a point. So it worked for a scalp. But it's clearly sideways, so it's just clearly too risky. Yeah, see that? Oh, shit, what have I done? Okay, so the lowest lump of liquidity I can see is around 50, which is here. So these are the overnight lows. Just going to extend that so I know where the lows are. Overnight lows. Okay, so leg down, leg down. Okay, so liquidity. That's a lump of it down there. And there's some at 53, which is there. Yeah, I'm just staying out of all this. It's just clearly choppy. I tend to scalp 2 points, sometimes a little bit more, and this is just such an area where you're going to get chopped up. But it's good if you can sit through this and not trade. That's a good thing, and I'm getting better at it. I seem to be feeling like I'm moving in leaps and bounds a bit now. I'm not worried about trading. I'm not, in a rush to look for a setup. I'll take my time and one will come at some point today. And if it doesn't, well, it doesn't. I've still done my job. So I do feel like I'm in a better place. So that's good. But this is clearly choppy, so hopefully we will. It's always good to be learning. Add it to your toolbox. You're always learning, aren't you? I suppose it's one of those things you never quite master it. You're always learning. Every day's a school day. And that's what makes you better, isn't it? So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to take a quick few-minute break. I'm drying up here. I'm not a fan of what's going on here. I'd rather let it sort itself out. Let's make sure I got nothing open. Beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to put this quick 5 minute. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to get a cold drink and I'll be back. Okay. Okay, we'll mention again. Don't forget, it is the last day of the Apex 80% off today. Price goes back up to 50% after midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight. And just in case anyone thinks they are extending it, they're not. I had an email saying we're not extending it. So let's have a look. Where's the email I had? Let's have a look. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I had a lot. Hi. Ends Monday night, blah, blah, blah. It will not be extended, so I don't know why they've come over so blunt. But yeah, it's the last day of the 80% off. Now, I don't think it'll be long before they have it on again, in all honesty. They never tend to wait much more than a week or two. But you just never know. So if you have used my code, it's down there, and then it's appreciated. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and I do get a kickback, as you know, but it's there if you want it. So nothing's really changed. So liquidity now is moved up a tiny bit to around about there, which is right at the midline. That's 59. That's the highest I can see at the moment. In fact, just under there, really. And what's the bottom? 52. So, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? The lowest I can see is 50. So we're clearly moving between this area here, between these two areas of liquidity. So if we hit the top, we may come down. If we hit the bottom, we may come up. But I don't know what's going on. It's clearly choppy, which is okay. That's fine. Best thing you do is sit on your hands. Too hot for that, Sam. I'm just sat here in a pair of shorts. Nothing else with a fan on me. It's that warm in the UK. It's muggy. But yeah, there's nothing you could do with this. You just got to sit and ride it. That's okay. It's all part of the job. You know, if you struggle with patience, then, you know, look upon this as a useful lesson. I actually don't mind because it, you know, it's all part of it. You know, it's as important part of the job than taking the trades, sitting there while there's nothing really there. So I kind of don't mind it. And if I can do it patiently, then I've done my job. Range is getting tighter out with the air, it is, mate, isn't it? Hargit seems to think we're going down at some point, but who knows? Maybe we are. It doesn't do this forever. At some point, it's likely to go up or down. You got any Indians in? I think we got a couple, haven't we? Bad luck in the cricket. I was rooting for India to beat Australia. Trouble is, we got Australia on Friday in the Ashes. And what I wanted them to do is go into the Ashes with a good beating, but unfortunately they beat India, and I was rooting for India. So I will say so. If you've got any Australians in, sorry, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, it was a good game of cricket, actually. I do like the Indian people. They're mad passionate about cricket. They're just a nice nation. They're just a friendly bunch. I've worked with quite a few. And they just... In fact, I was a bricklayer for a while, and I used to work in Dudley in the West Midlands for a while, and I worked on a site there. And we had a load working for us, and they're great, friendly people. Lunch times and break times, they just bring bags and bags of samosas, and I enjoy my food, so and they're a great bunch of people. Very friendly nation. Love to go to India. I would at some point in my life, hopefully. Yeah, just you clearly can't trade this. Just up, down, up, down, up, down. Starting to look like a barcode in it, or barbed wire, or whatever you want to say. Yeah, it's certainly trying to push up, isn't it? But as soon as we're getting up here, we're failing. Same here, same here. This is a battle. Yeah, you're not wrong, is it? And that's the trouble. The strongest areas of liquidity I can see, in fact, it's changed a bit. There's some at 54 now. So there's buy orders at 54 now. Whether they're taking profits from the shorts, but I can't see where you're short here really. So there might be buyers there trying to push it up some more. And then you've got the bears up here, or the sell orders up here at 59. So whether they're profit areas from maybe longs you've taken, I don't know, but it's clearly a battle up and down. That's been taken. Now we're looking at 53 and then 52. So I'd say from what I'm seeing, it's certainly looking a bit more bearish, I think. The buck stops down here. Yeah, so there's some buy orders there and buy orders there. So whether they're taking profits, I'd say they're probably buy orders. Maybe people waiting for it to drop out the bottom and thinking they're going to push back in. But yeah, it is a battle. If it does get below this area, then I think we're off to, seriously off down. Today maybe complete sideways. Yeah, you might be right, mate. So yeah, it's pushed down there, picked up some of those buy orders, and look. So it's so hard to know. Hopefully at some point during the day we may get some moving, but it could be like this for a while. Okay, the strongest I can see now is 55, which is here. So it may be a case of if we get a pullback to the EMA, there's going to be some more shorts there. So this might be the area now where it starts to go south a bit more. See what happens when these sell orders are picked up. So I can't see them being profits. Maybe you'd have bought here and you're selling. I don't know. It seems more like a place to sell rather than to take profits from a buy. I can't see where you'd have bought there. Maybe as this broke down, you bought below there and you want to take your profits here, but that liquidity is slowly drifting down. Yeah, 55 is the strongest I can see now. So for me, I think it's likely we may start to work down now. And once we get below these areas and then break the overnight low, see what happens. Somewhere around about some buying around about the 50 and 51, so maybe they want to be fading this range, but I don't know. It's starting to, if you're looking right from here really, we're getting lower and lower, aren't we? See, I'm not a fan of these quite shallow angled channels. I don't think it is. Let's crack 42.95. 42. Oh yeah, you're still on old contract, aren't you? Let's see if we got anything from Mac yet. Oh. Okay, bouncing on this bottom again. Let's have a look. Liquidity 54. So we may tick above, but I think we're gonna go down some more now. I can see this area, one leg, two legs. Maybe we tick a touch higher, pick up some of those sell orders at around about the 54, and then I think we're going south. That bullish bar has triggered. So let's see if that comes below there now. Day charts. The 9th. No, we got nothing from Mac just yet. Okay, if this does get below this area here, then I can see working on this 43.50 area, see what happens. I wouldn't want to buy there anyway, although if you're going to buy off this bottom, but it's just, the trouble is it's bouncing off this bottom, but right from, I don't know, overnight, every time we're getting these new swing highs, it's getting lower and lower, so it's working down for sure. And the strongest area of buying I can see is here. So if we can get below here, Matt's gone fishing. Oh, is he really? Can't argue with that. He's going for a rough time at the moment. He's had some surgery again on his ear, isn't he? He's had a bit of cancer on his ear. So fingers crossed, touch wood, he recovers back to fighting fit. But yeah, why not? Take some time off. Life's not all about working, especially when your health's having some issues. Tomorrow I'll use a new contract. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Okay. There is some liquidity back here at 58. 55, 56, which is around, let's put it in the middle, so somewhere around about there. So trouble is you could go, there's a second entry short there, but the trouble is every time it gets to this area it's pushing up, but at some point I'd say it's going to come down here now. If you bought that, actually I thought you were triggered, you're not. You may have just bought it, but if it breaks below here, I'd expect it to come down to this last lot of buys. Trouble is it's risky buying that low, selling that low really. There's nowhere to go really. There is a second entry short there which is triggered. Kill it. Gets below here, then I'd expect it to make a push down for here then, and then the overnight lows. Yeah, just can't trade any of this really, can you? It's working in, what is it, like 2, 4, 6, 5 or 6 point range. RTB, yeah. Stacked is the right word. We have had some movements, but I can't really see any trades. It's pushed down a couple of attempts to go higher and then that dropped, but I can't really see anything in our strategy, max strategy setup wise. I don't know, you may have took that. We've had this sort of channel, it's hard to know. You may have took that, there was a failed second entry short there, you may have taken that one, and you'd have got a point, but the trouble is it's just so risky. I've done lots of trading over the last sort of 2.5 years in short areas like this on and off, and it just doesn't work. Like it's fishing, so I'll never see at least 10 trades I've already missed this season. He's a big fisherman, isn't he? In fact, he went to Alaska, didn't he? Did he go to Alaska week before last, I think? Some fishing up there. I like a bit of fishing. I tend to fish on the River Severn in the UK. But I haven't been for a few years, but I did say I wanted to do some more this year. I wanted to work on my my downtime, because I find sometimes trading can be pretty stressful. Although things are improving at the moment, so I think it's important to get away and relax. You know, this type of scalping, fast moving markets can be pretty stressful. So I think it's important to get away and enjoy some downtime. Okay, 56 is the lowest liquidity I can see. There's a little bit at 58, 59, but not much. So I'd say if we hit this area, I think it might be an area there where we've come down, we've made like one leg, two leg. I'd say it's looking like it's starting to work down. 56, lots selling around about here. Somewhere around there. Indeed, Mac is fishing. Sorry, woman. I read that one. Yeah, I gathered it was a consolidation. Yeah, because at some point it'll move, won't it? And it's clearly making, every time it makes these new swing highs, they're getting lower and lower. Okay, so that's pushed up. Let's see if it picks up those sell orders up there. 56 they are. Okay, it's hit those orders there at 56. Now let's see if it drops. There's a new high there, so possible second entry short. It's hard to say. It's precarious to say the least at the moment. Okay, so this is the area now. Let's get this out of the way. Depends on who we're trapped. Yeah. So you may have bought that. You may have shorted that, I suppose. Okay, if you count that as a new low, try go low. Once there's a failure there, I don't really want to be going long. May take you long up to 58. Let's see if it does. See, I go for 2 points. That's the trouble. It wouldn't give me two. Well, it might do. Let's see if that would have made 2 points. Okay, so we've got a new low here. Try to go low. Once pushed up with the EMA. Try to go low twice. Came down, broke for the EMA, pushed up. Let's see if it does make 2 points. My Lance and Q are going in opposite directions, which usually means barbed wire. You're not wrong. Having a go. Yeah, I'll see why. Trades tonight. Yeah. It's clearly going sideways. You're not wrong. Okay, so Yes. You got a point there. Trouble is, every time I get into these areas, we're dropping. See what happens. A lot buying again at 54. So clearly, I'd say trying to push the market up. Okay, that's a couple of ticks above this, so let's get rid of it, but we'll come back to it. Okay, that might go actually. It might go. Fun in my PC is working out today. It whirring away. Past my bedtime now. Oh, right. You're Australian, I think, mate, aren't you? I think you're Australian, aren't you? Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Good luck. This is a tight range. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. Yeah, take it easy, Rodney. Yeah, of course you're Australia, aren't you? Bad luck in the cricket. Oh, bad luck. Sorry. Good luck in. Well done in the cricket. Sorry, miles away. Okay, right. It's clearly hitting this area. So if you did take that failure, I can't see it working. To be fair. Yeah, Melbourne. Yeah, I thought so. You're a cricket fan? I'm surprised if you're not. We got the Ashes with you guys on Friday, and you beat India, didn't you? They're looking pretty good, actually. I've got to say, Australia. Yeah, bowling. You got some serious bowling power there. It'll be interesting. I may not be talking to you next week. We'll see. Okay, so we've had this little channel, which is clearly a little channel there, and we've had a break out of it, so we're going to push higher. It's hard. It's clearly using that line there, I'd say, once, twice, so we'll see. Never learn cricket. Do you not know? Plus the match has gone too long. That's why I like them. When you lose slowly, so you don't get that. No, I suppose it's either it's either Aussie rules in it or cricket really over in Australia. But it's definitely a place on my list to go. Australia, incredible place. I would like to go there for 6 weeks during the Ashes and just watch some cricket, drink some beer, chill out in the sun, do a little bit of travelling. I will at some point. Start earning some decent money from trading. So what are you, 9 hours or 11 hours ahead? So where are we? 4 o'clock in the UK, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. What is it, 1 in the morning? Somewhere around there? That is late, isn't it? Get yourself to bed, mate. You're not missing anything anyway. That's the downside of trading in Australia. You're trading through the night, really. That's what Aussies are best at doing, chilling. You got to in a hot country, haven't you? Mind you, apparently Melbourne, don't they say you can get all 4 seasons in one day in Melbourne? Yeah, that's it. That's what I thought, 1 o'clock. Yeah. Get yourself off to bed, mate. office in 8 hours. Crikey. Well, you have a good one, mate. I'll be back here again tomorrow, or tonight in your case. Okay, so we've had this channel up here. We've had a break. There is some liquidity around. In fact, it's probably around about here. I'm not a fan of going long to retest these. No, only 3. Never gets below 0, does it not? No. Nah, it's just too unsafe there. I mean, even if that finishes bullish, doesn't mean it's going to go up there. Anytime, mate. Anytime, Rodian. You can tell it's warm in the UK. My fans whirring away on my PC. Yeah, it's so tough trading these. The trouble is, with this liquidity here and there, you just don't know where it's going to go first. We've had this channel up there. Now, normally when we get a channel, we get a break in a new extreme or a new high in this case, but you just don't know whether it's going to come down here or up here. So the strongest is just above, about here. So it's between these areas. It's literally a 4 or 4.25 point, 4.5 point from top to bottom. There's just not much room to maneuver, really. I like to see these liquidity areas up here, at least then, once we start working up. But because we're working in such a small area, you just don't know where it's going to go. If it could hit the top, it could hit the bottom. I've got no idea. But what I can see, if I look at Bookmap, it's slowly working down. I mean, every time we hit these highs, around these swing highs, it's coming lower and lower. So it's clearly got a downward bias, but it is respecting this bottom line. So at some point, we should do something, whether it's up or down. Now, the natural thing you would think to do would be to break lower, but who knows? There is some news at 6. It's only medium impact news. 6 o'clock will be done and dusted by then. So apart from that, but I believe there's a news day tomorrow. I can't remember what it is. I lose track of what it is. Strong selling at 55. That liquidity is working down. It is looking like it's starting to work lower. See what happens. 55. See, it picks up those sell orders. Okay, more. It's could be one of those slow days today. Yeah, you're not wrong, Tyler. Hopefully, if we can get a break out the bottom and then come back and retest the lows, then we may start to see something. I mean, the S&P's just rocketed lately, isn't it? I mean, you know, every day we're hitting new highs. Obviously rolled over, so, but there's been lots of up stuff. I mean, it was working, if you looked on the daily over the last sort of 13, 14 months, mate, it was just sort of working in a range down, then we had a break and retested, and we're just moving up. So the S&P looks like it's recovered. Whether anything will change or not, I don't know, but it's certainly looking quite like it's recovering. Yeah. I've got some of my pension in there. Just looking at it now. It's looking nice and profitable lately. Okay, so channel break. Looks like we're going to make a new high. Liquidity is at 58, so there is some there. So I'd expect it just to break higher than that. Or close to it. Maybe it's not. Yeah, every time it's getting lower with the exception of that one, but it's at the same point. So is that a good place to go short? Trouble is, it's right in the middle of this little area here, so it's just too risky, isn't it? There's, what, 3 points at the bottom? It's just too risky. We've had a break in. We've made a matching high. Perhaps that's good enough. But it's just risky. Wait for the day you take a Hargit trade. Well, going back a couple of months ago, Brant, I probably would have done every time he says it, but I seem to have found a little bit of balance. I seem to be... because I've been through different phases, and quite a lot of times I've been taking naff trades, poor trades. My patience have been getting the better of me, but this last week things have seemed to change a bit. I don't know, perhaps finally my brain's realised the only way you're ever going to make money out of this is if you sit and wait for the good setups and then leave everything else. But, you know, all you really need is one trade a day. Sometimes when you're trading you think, oh, I've got to get a few trades, and sometimes you sort of force yourself to take stupid trades, and it just doesn't work. And after a while of messing up, sooner or later your brain's going to start to realise just what you're doing is not working. Something will change. But yeah, I have been tempted. But to be fair, he's mentioned shorts, or whatever they were, mostly shorts, I think. But 7 times in a row. But I still, and it's you know, for me, it's the right thing to do. Now, if you're trading an evaluation and you want to have a go at and copy what he's doing, then I don't see the problem. But if something does go wrong, because Arjit's he's an experienced trader, but from time to time you'll have a loss. And if I wait, and all of a sudden get to 9 and I think, all right, I'll go for the 10th, and it loses, I've only got myself to blame, really. So it's the right thing to do. We've all got different trades and and different setups, but it's always interesting to see someone else's point of view. But don't get me wrong, if I saw a setup to go short and he went short here, I'd certainly, because Harjit tends to pick these ones that move quite well, I'd certainly hold on to it for a bit. I wouldn't necessarily go for my standard sort of 2 points. I may try and take advantage of it a little bit more. No, it's moving with it's just so risky. I suppose you've really got to know what you're doing. It might not be that bad if you're trading just for a scalp. I mean, if you did take that one off the top, you clearly got a point off it. If you took any of those off the top or off the bottom, actually you'd have got it, but it's just too risky. If you lose, just send them a bill in the mail. Okay, so we've had this push up. We've made an equal high. Let's have a look. There is. Okay, so we've got this new low here. Well, you can recount this. May trigger some longs in that. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that worked for a point. I thought it might trigger and then come down. Yeah, it's definitely a slow day, but I don't mind. We're going to get them. But if you've got the patience to sit through these, then I think it's a good thing. See, I've got this sort of new policy. If something doesn't feel right, I'm leaving it alone. You'll always get one good setup a day. And as long as you're not taking a break at the time, it's I had a day last week where I didn't take a trade. That's fine. I don't mind doing that. Much better to take just 1 minute. If you think about it, and I've weighed this up quite a lot, I always used to go for 2 or 3 trades. And what I found sometimes is I would win one, lose one, and win one. So I've taken 3 trades, but I'm only the equivalent of 1 trade up. Because one cancels the other, but what I am down is 3 lots of fees. So if you just take 1 winning trade and that's it, you're better off doing that than win 1, lose 1, win 1, because taking out the fees. So I'm just concentrating on trying to get 1 good setup a day, and if I happen to be lucky enough to get 2 really good setups a day, then happy days. But my target is, if I can, is to try and get 5 2-point wins or 2.25 point wins in a week if I can, an average of that, which will give me around about $1,000. And if you can do that over a month, $4,000 a month, you can start paying yourself $2,000 a month and let the other $2,000 build your account up. So then you can slowly build the account and increase your contract size at some point. But now I just seem to have hit a really nice balance. I'm quite happy waiting for really quality setups. I don't know what's changed in me, but wherever it is, it's working. Perhaps, my brains, my thick heads, finally something's got through to it. Okay, so it's been doing this just over an hour. Smart skills highlights. You still working? No. The plan was to get back this weekend, but I managed to get a $2,000 payout, so that's basically covered what I'd make this month. And my account's looking quite nice at the moment, so hopefully I can get another $2,000 payout at the end of the month. So that will give me $4,000 this month. So fingers crossed. No, I decided to go back at the latter part of last week, but then things seemed to feel quite nice and balanced with trade, and I managed to get my account looking to $4,500, so I took a $2,000 payment, so that's helped me out a bit. So CPI, yeah. Crypto's gone a bit shaky as well, hasn't it? The SEC seems to be on the warpath. They're suing Binance, suing, is it Robinhood? Or is it not Robinhood? Yeah, is it? I think it's Robinhood. So, yeah, it's nice to get a payment. It's nice to earn some money. This will be the third payment I've had since end of January. Now, it's not a fantastic amount, $6,000, but it's hopefully I'll have another one at the end of the month, because you can take two. Excuse me. Your first 3 months, you're limited to $2,000, but you can take two every month. So 2 month 1, 2 month 2, 2 month 3, but it only counts as one payment. Coinbase is it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Binance could be in some real trouble, couldn't they? I mean, that could. I don't know. I know, didn't they suspend withdrawals at some point? So the trouble is, people are going to be ripping the money out of Binance, and I think Binance is the biggest exchange in the world, isn't it? They don't need this, but I don't know. The CEO's been up to some no good, so I believe. I don't know. Trouble is, you don't want to get into a situation with the. I mean, look what happened with XRP. They've been in a court battle for the last 5 years. I don't know why they've not just, I don't know, settled of some sort. But SEC, Binance, and Coinbase, yeah. Robinhood delisted, yeah. Robinhood delisted Cardano. I know Cardano and Solana, because I got a bit of both of them. They've both dropped 25% thereabouts. So I was tempted to buy some more, but the trouble is, obviously, a lot of this happened over the weekend, so I wasn't sure what was going to happen in the early part of this week. Word might get around, there might be some more fear and panicking, and there may be a bit more selling. But the trouble is, Solana is a good deal, isn't it? I don't know. It's been talked about the Ethereum killer, so I don't know. I know some institutions and some big companies have adopted some Solana. So I don't know. That's the trouble with crypto. You can make a lot of money in crypto, and you can also lose a lot of money. Okay. Strong liquidity is at 57 here, so yeah, it's just untradeable, really. This, isn't it? I mean, if you know what you're doing, I suppose there was a second entry long there if you scalp at a point. But this is just every time I've traded in this before, I just get chopped up. So I just avoid it now, and that's exactly the right thing to do. It's part of the job. Sometimes it happens. SEC classified, ADA, Matic, and others are securities. Yeah. So they come under different rules then, don't they? And I think, isn't that to do with the staking, isn't it? Don't believe the crap. That's the trouble, really. You just don't know. And, I know from experience and talking to people that there's a lot of manipulation go on, isn't there? Within sort of cryptocurrency, well, with everything, really. There's a lot of manipulation. And that's the part where it's sort of unregulated. You know, there have been lots of these new cryptocurrencies that have come out, and literally people have thrown life savings into them, and all of a sudden they've ripped the rug from it, and you know, that's the trouble when things are. I mean, it'll all be regulated at some point. There's too many people losing money. But yeah, if they classify them as a security, they come under. Well, I think they guided or come under certain rules and regulations. And I think, isn't that what Binance have been doing? They've been illegally allowing trading of securities without a license. I don't fully understand it all, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like Harjit says, you just don't know. There's so much manipulation going on. Yeah, hey Chris, how you doing, bud? Yeah, there's not a lot here really, is there? I can't really see any good setups really. There's nothing that I think I would have taken. There is a failure there, but I mean, we've got this channel, 2 legs. It's hard to say at the moment. It's unsafe in it, and I seem to be in a really nice place of waiting for good setups. So I'm quite happy. I don't know. I just don't seem to be in a rush anymore. I'm realising that, you know, I've taken my time, and look what's happened. I managed to take a payment. So it's the only answer. Take your time. Wait for a good setup. It's the biggest battle in trading, isn't it? But it's weird, I quite often finish on days like this when it's like this, and then you come back later. If I sort of mark my chart up and it's just shot off 60 points up or down or something. Thank you, mate. I think I've finally realised if you bang your head against the wall enough times, it bleeds. You spend so much time, don't you, when you're learning to trade, trying to beat the system. It just doesn't work, does it? Trying to get lucky, trying to, you know, jump on a good move and you know, what, trying a big move without a proper setup, and it's gambling, a lot of it, isn't it? But I suppose it's part of it. And the impression I get is that it isn't regulated because the US refused to offer a set regulation for them all to work by. Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it? And the US hate the fact that it's not centralised, and therefore, yeah. Yeah, it'll all be regulated at some point. You'd have to think so, wouldn't you? Because, I mean, theoretically, there'd be nothing stopping the US government banning crypto, really, wouldn't they? I mean, China sort of do what China do anyway, but lots of other countries have banned it. So trouble is, I dare say, you know, some of the big boys own certain amounts of it, maybe Bitcoin. There are a lot of countries who've adopted Bitcoin, so it's hard to do, isn't it, really? I don't understand the nuts and bolts of it. Okay, now the highest lump of liquidity I can see is 58.59, so round about there, just below that middle line. So let's see what happens here. We got a leg. Break. Yeah, see if that ends up bearish, that might be a place, leg break leg. But I'm just so nervous about picking tops and bottom. I mean, it's finished naff anyway, but short it now at your own risk. If that finished bearish, I think I would have done. I was looking at that. It looks like leg break and a leg. Fake out before the drop. Yeah. Yeah. I just can't bring myself to do it, just in case it does. I have to follow my rules. If that finished bearish, then that would tempt me. Because it does like a leg break and a leg. And obviously, every time we've retested these tops, it's come back down. I just don't know, though. We've had this channel, and it looks like we've made 2 attempts to go lower. It is possible we could go higher. And unless I see a good setup, I just can't do it. Let's have a look. That's possible. But if Harjit goes short here, say 56.75, 775, 875, 975, his stop will be up here, around about here. So it's too big of a stop for me, really. It is possible we've got this channel and a couple of attempts to go lower and then another push. That liquidity does slowly keep getting higher, which is telling me it's dragging it up, but strong at 58. Yeah, see, that's making me nervous. I think it's going to push up this measured leg. It looks like a leg with a couple of attempts to go lower and another push up. It's so hard. If that tick triggers above there, it'll either push up or that might be an area where it comes down. But there is some liquidity here, so I would prefer it to hit this area and then come south. I just have to follow my rules. But there may be some longs trapped in there. I've just got a feeling with this channel, a couple of attempts to go low, we might push up to here. Now that's looking tempting.
Order submitted.
Especially after triggering that.
Order cancelled.
Would have to be a buy order, wouldn't it?
Order submitted.
Let's see what happens. No. No.
Order cancelled. Order submitted.
If it breaks below there, that might drag some longs in there. No, I can't do it.
Order cancelled.
He gives us, he said, go short here, go short there. He's told us to go short over the last few days at a certain area, and he's got it right 7 times in a row, and that was an area short up here. So this will be going to 8 before long. Needs guts to short this. Yeah. To be honest with you, when it broke below there, whether that may take some longs in there, thinking we're pushing up for another leg. But I have to follow my own rules. That's the thing, really, and it's going well for me at the moment. See, so if I just jump in without feeling it's the right time for me, then if I end up getting stopped out, I'll be kicking myself because I'm in a good place at the moment. See, so they will scare you always. Yeah, but what I mean is I have to get into my own trade. You know what I mean? I have to follow my own strategy, but. See what happens here. If this finishes bullish, there's a second entry long there. That might drag some longs in, so that might then give us a failure. See what happens. I think if you want to take and sell near 43.60 up here, yeah. See, what I will say is the top level liquidity is here, but there's a lot around the 57, which is here. So, yeah, I'd say by the looks of things, I think it's likely, especially had a nice bearish bar there, I think it's likely to come down to these lows. That will stay interesting. What method are you using, Harjit? Yeah, see, Harjit's been trading over 20 years, see. Let's go. So, if we can break above this, that will give us a failure. Okay, there's a failure there. 53 is, so we got a new high there, try to go one stroke, so let's see how this finishes. I'm sure Mac will mark 20 trades. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, so that's triggered. So see if we get a failure here. I'll try to go once, try twice. See how this finishes. Absolutely, bud, yeah. Absolute. That's why I haven't jumped in on any of these, because I trade a different strategy, and you've got to follow your own strategy rules. And Harjit did say short around here, so if this finishes bearish, then there's a failure there, so one leg down, two legs down. I think maybe it was worth 2 points. See what happens. Anyone remember the octopus that predicted football games to great accuracy? Someone needs to get this fella for trade. I think we need to find out where he is and abduct him and lock him in a room somewhere with a supercomputer so he can trade for us all. Do you know one thing I am seeing here, possibly? I don't know. I think I can see us pushing up this measured leg, personally. We had a leg, a break of it, made 2 attempts to go lower, and I think we're going to hit this area. Now, Harjit's stop will be here, so I think he's okay. Although there is some liquidity at 5.9, so it's hard to say. That octopus is dead. So we once, twice, with 3 attempts to go higher. So it's just so hard to know what to do. I just can't go short here at the moment. In all fairness, what I can see, if that breaks below there, I think there's 2 points north myself, but I don't know. It's just clearly choppy. Every time I trade in this area, I get chopped up most of the time, so I've just given up trying. That liquidity is going from 55, so it's such a small area, and yeah, so easy to get chopped up here unless you know what you're doing. Strong buying at 55, so I think they're trying to push this higher. Let me have a look. There's strong liquidity. This is going higher in my opinion. There's strong liquidity at 55, which is here. Okay, there we go. So let's see if this measured leg's played out. Is it in the right place? Let's have a look. There. Let's have a look. One leg, break leg. So we got this channel. There's 2 attempts to go low, and we had a push with a break and a new high. See what happens there. Strong liquidity at 55. So that's the trouble. If you went short with our strategy, a stop would have been above here, whereas Harjit's stop is further up. I think he uses 3 points, but I don't know. I just think we may get a push up a bit higher. We've tried lots of times to go low. We've bounced a bunch of times here. We've bounced here. We've had a channel up there. We've made 2 attempts to go lower. So I think we're pushing up a bit personally. That liquidity is appearing a bit higher and higher. So it's hard to say. NQ may touch 13.398. See what happens. Let's see the channel break, new high, channel break, eventually a new high. So both of those have played out, but I don't know. I think it's going higher personally. We've made lots of times to go lower. Okay, so that measured leg has played out. Yeah, see, the one time I'd have listened to Harjit there, my stop would have got it. So, but you know, 7th. See, it depends where you got in there, but I think Harjit goes for 3 points. So did he get in around about here? He's not out yet because his stop will have been here. Then he lets somewhere around about here. I don't know, 3 points. So no, depending on where he got in. Let's say here. Yeah, not yet. Oh, but his stop's here. But I don't know. I think that's going to hit that stop. Depends whether we get some strong buyers now. But it may fade this range. But if you look here on these swings, we're working up, aren't we? So I think we spent a lot of time down here. I think we're working up a bit. Okay, I don't know whether this is valid. It probably isn't. But see what happens here. If this pushes up bearish, then I'd say it's going higher. Bullish, I'd say it's going higher. But there is some resistance again up here, so maybe it's just testing this area. Maybe this is just a bit of a fade, a failed breakout. We've got a channel there. There's our new high from there. We've got a channel here. There's our new high from there. Let's have a look. Still short. Yeah, I think your stop is around about here somewhere, isn't it? Let's have a look. So we've had that channel. We've had a break. There's a new high from this. We've got another channel here with a break. There's a new high. So I don't know. Push up, little bit of sideways. I think we're going to have another push up there. Yeah, that's going higher for me personally. Q in dancing zone. Zigzag, yeah. Trouble is there is a lot of support here, so maybe it won't go higher. I don't know. I think it will. I hope I'm wrong. I'd so like to see Harjit get to 8-0. See, it may come back and bounce off this. But this is just, I think we're going to leg, and I think we're coming up here personally. Leg, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Push up, little bit of sideways, another push up. That's where we're going, in my opinion. Yeah. Leg, a few by side, leg again. Let's have a look. That liquidity now is moving up here a bit, so 62. So it's just before that other leg. Let's see what happens here. 61, 61, 62. 61, 62. So there's two loads, one there, one there. Actually, let me get rid of that. This for me is slowly grinding up. Yeah, that's getting pulled up there, that is. Buying at 58, so if we have to come down a bit, there's more buyers here. Sunny, too many sellers. And it intends to be crosses 43.62. I think it's likely to get two here. Certainly here anyway. Where's 61? 61's there in the middle. See what happens. $61 on 58. Let's leave 61 there. Let's put 58. So if we have a break here and it picks up some more orders, I can see it pushing up higher. There's clearly a channel there. Here's our break. Strong at 57. So let's see if it retests the top of this. In fact, let's get rid of that and put a channel there. Uh, 'Okay, break bullish bar. Not a fan of it. If I'm going to get in on something like that to go higher, it's going to be right down here. There's strong liquidity around about here and here. 57, 68, so I prefer a couple of legs down, but so I expect that to get hit, if not a bit higher. $62, these are the areas of interest for me. Yeah, it does look like it's working up. Strong liquidity here, see what happens. Yeah, there is a lot of resistance around there, which you can clearly see it seems to be struggling with. That might be the top of the line, actually. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, yeah, it's clearly respecting that. Look, there's a bunch of touches there, a couple of touches there, a bunch of touches there, some here. So we've this might be where it works back down into this channel. Let me have a look. Strong liquidity 61, some up here. I don't know, it's struggling now. I don't know, we'll see. We've had that break. This is a battle between the longs and the shorts. Okay. 61's that first target, which is about there. So if it closes above here, we may get a bit more upward movement. Not sure what that's for. Strong 62, so I think this is another target. Okay, channel break, new high. Now let's see what happens. We still have got these strong areas here. Right, the liquidity is going down here. It's moving up to 58.59, which is telling me this is starting to work up. $59 and 62. Where's the 59? 59's getting hit now. Oh no, it's a lie. Okay, so clearly range date, no argument there so far. We didn't get to these. Let's see if we get to the overnight highs. Okay, it's pushed through that liquidity there. See what happens now. Still strong buyers, so let's get that out of the way. This is top of the line at the moment, just above 62. So short-term trend channel with a break at a new high. Okay, so there's some liquidity there and some liquidity at 59. liquidity at 59. So if it does come back, I can see it hitting this level. Very strong here. Just not a lot in the way of setups, really. You know, trouble is, although we've got these lower highs, we've got this moving up from here. So as bearish as I think it was looking at one point, you just don't know. Someone will win the battle. I thought it may end up being the shorts, but when I saw that with a couple of attempts to go lower, that got me thinking we were going to push up. We've had that channel, we've had a break. We've tried to go lower once, tried to go lower twice, failed, pushed up. Okay, this is this liquidity here. And it's starting to work a bit higher as well, so I certainly expect that to get hit. Now there is liquidity just under 60, so it may have a little come down first. Not convinced just yet. Let's put that like that for now. Where is this? 59. There's quite a lot around 59, so maybe it'll come down to this midline. Who knows? Okay, last trade for the day. Short. It's at 4318. Of course. Yeah, you're on the old contract, mate. Yeah. Of course, yeah. Just keep that in mind. Target's on the old contract. So we've had this channel, we've had a break, and we've made a new high. We've got a bearish bar there. So the bit that's concerning me is there's strong liquidity here. So it may come down to the EMA or close to it, but it's very strong above 62. So I expect this area to get hit. So whether it'll trigger this short here and push up and take that out, I'm not sure, but there is a lot of liquidity around this midline of this bigger channel, so I wouldn't be shocked if it comes down, picks this up before it moves higher, or it may just come down. I'm just a bit unclear today. It's just a bit of a choppy day, which is fine. We get them from time to time. We've been a bit lucky lately. We've had some nicer trending days. We haven't had as much of this crap lately, have we? It's been a little bit easier to trade and a bit less frustrating, but yeah, that liquidity is very strong at 62, so I would say I'm just going to pick up some buy orders here and then make it move a bit higher. 58 and a quarter. Oh, it's a bit lower than that. 58 here, so maybe it won't get down. See, there's a lot of it may come down and test this support, which is the midline. We haven't a break of it, so it may come back down, but I don't know. It's still looking like it's getting sucked north to me. Quite a bit of a drop there. Yeah, it's so hard to trade today. You really got to know what you're doing. I can't see much. Very, very choppy. I can't see anywhere where it would, maybe looking back on it, I would find anything of interest. We had this channel down. We made 2 attempts to go higher. Bearish bar there. I know people like the penguin trader may have looked at that. I'll be surprised if he doesn't short that at least down 1-to-1 down to this area here. He's short now, yeah, but on the old contract though, Sam, he's still on 06. This is 09, so make sure you don't get confused, but yeah. I think he shorted up here, didn't he? I don't know how much it differs on the 06. I'm assuming it's similar. Okay, so we've had a break, expect a new low. There's lots of liquidity at 58, so I'd expect that to come to 58. But there's just no setup for me there, really. Yeah, he's still on 06, Sarge. It is till tomorrow. I think I'm just going to walk away flat. Not a bad decision at all, that, mate. And just keep an eye on the charts. I'm too new to trade. Yeah, days like this are tough, mate. Fortunately, we haven't got we haven't had a lot lately, but you can there's so many traps in here, and it's just nothing really. It's a poor day. There'll be very little trading today. If you look at the Facebook group, I'll be surprised if the likes of Marco or Jope or something like that have taken a trade today. They may have had one somewhere. They might see it slightly different, but I'd say the Penguin will have some. I think he'll have that push down, made 2 attempts to go higher. I reckon he'll short that. Wait for it to move and he'll short that 1-to-1, maybe 2-to-1. But I can't see many other trades. Yeah, take it easy, Brooke. I still don't think we're finished moving up at the moment. Some strong liquidity at 61 and 62. So from this area here, it's hard to say at the moment. We'll see if it does push up. Then maybe it's hard to say. It hasn't come down as quick as I thought it might. If we are going south. Good day not to trade. Yeah, I think if you sit patiently, you might get something. It just depends. Some days you're going to get days like that. You know, I found sometimes even pre-market, come in pre-market an hour, sometimes things are a little bit calmer. And I do notice sometimes we get, it's quite predictable. We get a leg break, leg break, leg break, leg. It's quite predictable some mornings. So if you come in pre-morning and maybe leg down, maybe, you know, sort of get one in early, at least that way tomorrow we've got some news events at least that way, you know, if we do get a tough day, at least you know you've got one nice and early. So sometimes I usually get on the chart an hour before and just have a look, just keep it on and just flit around and see if something comes up. So we've had this channel, we've had a break, we've had a new low. It's also a failure. Trouble is, I just don't like this. I don't know. I don't think we're finished moving up yet. I'm not sure. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't know. It's the EMA's holding prices at the moment, see, so that's what's telling me maybe we haven't finished moving up yet. But yeah, I'm quite happy not having a trade. If it happens, it happens. It's part of it. Much better to go away 0 than force a trade and end up 2-3 points down. You'll be kicking yourself then. And there's nothing worse than that feeling that you know you should have done something. I play zone so short. Yeah. 4316, 4318. Yeah. Yeah, old contract. Yeah. I know sometimes I get in, if I know there's news events, I get in pre-market, maybe get 2 points early. We'll have to see. But I don't mind. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't mind. You know, one thing I'm starting to realise, the only way you're going to make this business is if you wait for a setup. If there's nothing, you just can't force one. You're just going to go with it and accept it. What time is it? Okay, I'm going to give it another 30 minutes. Patience is the key. It's hard to get that into your head when you're quite new. You think you can beat the markets and get lucky. You might happen once in a while, but it's the worst way to trade, isn't it? But we all do it at some point. Yeah, see, for me, I don't think we're finished with the down stuff. I thought when it had a push up, it may come tumbling down, but something's just telling me the way I can see book maps looking, it's strong up here. I just don't think we're finished with the up yet. I might be wrong, but We spent a lot of the day down here, so now we've pushed up. There was some resistance here, and it's pushed up above it, come back down, and I think it's going through it again. So I'd say maybe the overnight highs is where it may go. Hard to say. Look for that clear cycle and confirm. Yeah. Second entry long. Not on this contract. There's nothing I can see really. Yeah, 62 is very strong, so I expect it to hit that. It may be a bigger channel there in all fairness. Let's move that there in case we've had a break, one leg down. So I think it's likely we're going to break these highs, and if we do, it'll trigger that. That's the top, that's as high as we've got at the moment, order wise. So many times I thought, yeah, we're going up, let's just jump in. Every time you do that, you just get nailed. $61, $62. On your profit for the month. Ouch. Oh, that's tough. My biggest daily loss was at $2,300 I had in one day. That crippled me, that did, mentally. Yeah, I think if you're trading two contracts, I think if you lose two trades in any one session, I memean, what's the ATR? 1.6. So on average, two losing trades with two contracts, that'll be just under $450. I think it's a good time then to pack it in for the day. Something's not working right, or the market's choppy, you're not reading it right, you know, but $450 is not a lot. You can soon get that back in a day. You get an average, above average day, and you'll get that back. But yeah, I got that that sort of first PA I managed to build up to $7,500. I took a payment and I took that big loss on there, and I just never recovered. It had such a sort of impact on me. The following day, what's your largest loss? 2,300 one day out of my PA account, 1,700 the next day. I just never recovered after that, and that went. And that's the first payment I had there. The trouble is, especially as an inexperienced trader, you manage to build an account, you think you've cracked it, and then you take a big hit. What I should have done is, you know, because I was doing okay, I'd made a payment, the message was up nice, that the balance was up nice. I remember saying to my wife, it's not a case of if I do it, I am doing it. So I'd got too confident. I came into the market early and shorted the top, just randomly took a short, picked the top, in other words, and it went against me. It broke out, went a bit higher, and then I went short again. So I lost literally $500 in the first 2 minutes. And I just, instead of walking away there, and I just carried on, You don't trust this move up. Yeah, it's moving up very slow, isn't it? I've seen this before. I'll move up, drag more longs in, and all of a sudden, wham. But yeah, you got to try and avoid these big losses if you can. Someone told me never lose more in one day than you can't make in another. You learn. Absolutely, you learn from it, yeah. You learn. You're going short, are you there? Yeah, it's tried a couple of times to go higher. I just can't do it personally, but heard Tom Preston from Tasty Trade say the other day, the trade that don't make it are the ones that think they figured it all out. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. In fact, I'm going to take a photo of that. Anything I hear that's interesting, that makes good sense, I'll take a snap of. What's his name? tasty trade. I'll look into that. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, if you ever get too confident and think you've figured this out and you beat the markets and you're on a winner, it is the time you make a serious trip up. Okay, so we've had a break. Try to go high once, try to go twice. See what happens. See what happens. I'm just aware. Let's have a look. This liquidity is at 62. And there's some at 58. So, see if you went short there, it triggered you. I think that's going to stop us out personally. We put it one tick. Harjit goes 3 points, doesn't he? So, I'd say this is pushing up to this 62 for me. See what happens. It pushed above there and dropped actually a bit, but we had this short-term trend channel. We had a break new low. Try go once, try twice. I think we're going to make a new high from this channel, and I think 62 is going to be it. It's actually a bit lower than that. There. Trouble is, it could be sucking in long trades, and then all of a sudden, wham. So for now, you just scalp here. Sometimes in markets like this, you might be better off taking a point. In fact, I'd argue you might be better off not trading at all, really. Trouble is, if you only go for a point and you normally go for more, you're still risking the same amount. But fortunately, the ATR is quite low at the moment. So on average, tick above, tick below, you're looking at just over 2 point risk, which is not huge. But it's just so choppy and unpredictable. Yeah, 62 is my level here, which will make a new high after this channel. Nice big bullish bar, up she goes. Strong buyers. Buyers are 3 times the sellers at the moment. I think that's going to have a little burst above this because there's probably going to be some shorts thinking they're going to fade this. So I think when it breaks above there, it might have a little bit of a push. We'll see. Yeah, because we've had this channel breaking. There's a higher low there. I think it's going to break this for sure. If it breaks above there, that's going to. I think it's going to encourage a few longs, and there's probably going to be some short stops there, and it's going to hit that area of liquidity. And in fact, it goes a little bit higher than that, so I can see it hitting that and pushing up a tiny bit more. But like Harjit says, he doesn't trust it. And sometimes when it's slow like this, you know, this might trigger and you think, yeah, we're going to push high, and all of a sudden, wham, it drops really quickly. And the more times it tries to break its high over here, the weaker I suppose it gets. Or it's just, that's what I mean. It may trigger that. See, you know, we've got this channel over here. We've had a couple of legs down, 1 leg, 2 legs down. And a higher low. Let's see if that triggers. If that triggers, I think it'll either push up or it may just come tumbling down quite quick. But I get what Harjit's saying. He doesn't trust this channel. Yeah, sometimes the way it's acting, you just don't know, do you? You know, it might be just sucking in some longs before it drops. But I am aware there's this liquidity here, and prices do move towards liquidity. So it's going to be the aggressive sellers that push that lower. But it'd be interesting to see when it hits those sell orders or stops, what are they, then is it going to make quite a strong push? But interesting. I wouldn't like to be in this trade. There's some buy orders there, or on the midline. Okay, one more tick and we'll eat some of that liquidity and we'll break the new high. I think it's going to. I think it might have a little bit of a pop once it gets above here. Okay, so if you took that higher low, you're in this trade now. Although there's not much room to the high, so I think it's risky, but it doesn't look like it's slowing down to me. Let's have a look. There's liquidity there and it's 63, so it may push up a tiny bit, or I don't know, and then it may come down. I've got no idea really. All I can say is I think it'll lightly hit that. One more tick and it might take out some stops. SMA holding well. Yeah, it's trying, it's grinding slowly, so I'll be quite confident in saying it's going to break that high and eat through some of that liquidity there. Yeah, way too late for a long, yeah. Strong there as well. Interesting. Oh, this might be the camel that broke the straws, or the straw that broke the camel's back. We'll see. Oh, this might be it. We'll see. There is some. This might be it. There's some at 59. That's the trouble. That's what Arjit mentioned. I don't trust it because a lot of the times it sucks in. You may have gone, you know, when we had that bit of a pullback, you may have gone long there thinking that we're going to push up. It's not over yet, but I wouldn't like to be in a long trade now. Liquidity is still strong at 62. And here. Second entry short. Trouble is, it's an inside bar and it's just too far away from the EMA. I think that's dangerous. I do think it's going there, but you don't want to be going at the tire at the top of there. There's nothing above there really, so it's just dangerous. Yeah, it's just so risky that it's an inside bar anyway, so you don't want to be taking that long. Yeah, there's probably, because there's a bit of a channel there, it might be there, see. You could probably argue that's like that. In which case we've had a break in a new high and there's a big bearish bar there, which is obviously triggered. So there's quite likely going to be some stops. They may put them a bit higher. It's hard to say. Like, the trouble is, people put them at different places, but I know Harjit said if he takes somewhere, he puts his stop 3 points ahead. So it's hard to say. But I would say if it hits that, then I'd say it's more likely than going to hit the 63. But you just don't know. It's just, you know, it can suck in longs here. You might have bought down here, you might buy above here, around about here somewhere. It's hard to say, it could just tank. it's not just these levels of liquidity. It's the aggressive buyers and sellers that just hit the sell button and buy button. You don't know what they're going to do. See, so if they deem this struggling to get up here, then they may, let's just jump in. Market starts to go. Okay, so there's a potential failure there, but I don't know. I just think it's all risky, that personally. I don't like it when it does this very slowly. And not only that, if you do trade this and you put a stop down here, and I've had it quite a few times, market drops that quick, turns your 2-point stop into a 3 or 4-point stop. And that's the frustrating bit. These areas that slowly grind up, that can trap in longs, they can move really quickly. And just because you've got a 2-point stop doesn't mean it's not going to turn into a 3-point stop. So I tend to just stay out of them unless I see something amazing. Trouble is, if you shorted that, you're still in that trade. You may have shorted that. We tried a couple of times. Second entry short, you may have shorted that. You're in the trade. Next bar, nice and bearish again. It's hard to say whether it's going up or down. I know this area is quite strong here, but you just don't know because there's aggressive sellers that may just short that. See, it's hit the same point, so it's hard to say. I'm a bit on the fence about this one, so I'm quite happy not to just to sit and watch. Excuse me. Don't forget tonight, guys, midnight tonight, Apex is 80% off finishes. And I brought the email up. They have said they're not extending it. So if you do want it, 80% off, you want to do it before midnight, my code's down there. If you use it or you have used it, it's appreciated. But if you do want one, whether you use mine or anybody else's, it does run out at midnight tonight. Okay, there is a failure there, to be honest with you, but it's struggling to get up there, and it may trigger you and just tank. So I ain't getting involved in this. It's just risky for me. It's struggling to get up, so it might trigger you and then come down. It's struggled to get above this area here. Breaks the tops, it will fly. Yeah, I think you might be right. There's probably going to be some shorts there. I dare say there'll be some there as well. Second entry short there. Break from this channel short. It's clearly struggling to get up. I think it's more likely going to go down than up. But it's hard to say. These areas of liquidity can, prices move towards it. And if there's not enough aggressive buyers and sellers, it'll move towards liquidity. Yeah, that's the trouble. If you draw something like that, it kind of looks bullish. We've had the break, new low, struggle low one, struggle twice. It does look bullish if you draw that, but that's the trouble. Is it accurate? It's hard to say. And without having MAC as input, so like, if you draw it like that, it's at the top, so it's just hard to say. So if you did take that failure, it's triggered. So damn, too slow for me the whole day kind of week. Yeah, good luck, lads. Thanks, mate. Cheers, Chris. Yeah, I don't know. It may trigger and then just drop. Possibly will. It's hard to say. I'm just not getting anything involved in any of this. It does look like it's struggling to get higher. We'll see. Breaking. See if it does push up again. It's a triple test then, isn't it? Trouble is, at the moment, see if it. What happens if it ticks below this bar here? See if there's any more longs in there. If there's longs in there or longs in there, there's stops here. So if it hits that stop, we may get a push down. So if it gets below there or there, okay, quick drop there. So let's see if it comes down anymore. I think it will. Okay, so there's a lower low there. So if it breaks below there, then I think we may have a little bit of a move down. It's 57, 58 some liquidity, which is around about here. So leg, we may have another leg. It's hard to say at the moment. I'm a bit on the fence. Would I rather be long or short? Neither at the moment. If anything, I don't know. I suppose I'd have to. I got no idea. It's clearly pushing higher, isn't it? It's struggling to push higher, but at some point, the buyers are going to give up, and I fear then we'll have a quick drop. But this is just so dangerous to trade. Okay, so there's some probably longs in there. There's second entry long here. Let's see if that triggers. If it does, it may come careering down and take out a bunch of stops. But there is strong liquidity here, so I've got no idea. You could call this a once, twice. Yeah, it's just so hard to trade, isn't it? I don't know whether it's going higher or lower. It could just drop. I think it's more like if it moves quick, I think it's more likely to go down. I don't think it'll move up quickly. Excuse me. Okay, quick push now. Let's see what happens. It'll either go up now or it'll drop quickly. That's my prediction. Excuse me, just a second. Yeah, there's still some strong liquidity. I still think we're going to push higher and break these highs. And then if we pick these up, we've got a triple test then. So let's put that there and see if we get a triple test out of this. Okay, one more tick. Okay, that's ticked above it. Maybe another tick. Okay, so maybe this is a triple test. 1, 2, 3. Trouble is, trends up at the moment, so do you really want to go short? It's hard to say. Okay, that's eaten up that liquidity. So the next lot is at 64, so maybe we are pushing higher. Okay, I think I'm going to knock it on the head today, guys. I've had enough, actually. No trades today, so look, I appreciate all your comments. It's been a bit of an odd day today, been a bit of a very slow day today, lots of chop. But there you go. So don't forget, midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, the 80% off Apex finishes, goes back to 50% off. So if you do want 180%, midnight tonight. So my code's down below. If you use it or you have used it, excuse me, it's appreciated. So look, we'll be back here again tomorrow. We've got some news events coming tomorrow. So that is it for today. I appreciate all your comments and all your feedback. It has been a slow day today, but sometimes it happens. But if you've got the patience to stay out and sit and watch and let it get on with it, then I think you've done all right. So have a great evening. Stay safe as always, and we'll talk again and do it all again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.